Hey guys, welcome back to the ExamRevision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and this is my very last video of the academic year, and I want to be talking about some very last minute tactics for exam day, the day before exams, to help you succeed in your Leaving Cert and your Junior Cert. Your Leaving Cert is obviously starting on Wednesday, so these are just some last minute tips for the night before exams, the day of exams, during exams, how to keep yourself calm, just some little things that might help you out, some tips and tricks. And yeah, let's get started with the video. The first two things I want to talk about are the night before exams, whether that be your first exam, your last exam, any exam. So in that genre, the first thing I want to talk about is just reviewing key information the night before. The night before your exam is not a time or a place to start cramming new information. You're already going to be really nervous. You're not really going to be thinking that much about the actual material on the exam. You're just going to be thinking about the exam itself. You don't have the brain power anymore. You've gotten to this point and you've put in, I'm sure, lots of hard work. But in that very last study session before you settle down for the night, just revise some key concepts, some key information. Do not try and learn anything new. I probably wouldn't even be doing past papers at this point. It's gone too far. You're already tired and you're nervous, and you shouldn't be trying to put pressure on yourself anymore. If you have flashcards or notes, I would just be reading through these, no pressure, just in a relaxed environment. You're already going to be stressed. There's no point in trying to put pressure on yourself and put a timer on and starting to do a past paper at 8 o'clock the night before your exam. So what I did, I would just read through all of my notes. I would go through, read through it, just to re-jog my memory on that subject, because obviously I've been studying different subjects in the past week leading up to these exams. If you have any summary sheets on past paper questions that were particularly difficult, read through those, re-jog your memory on the answers. Also, the night before the exam is the time to organize everything for the next morning. Have your pencil case packed, your calculators ready. I would always just reset my calculator the night before the exam, just so it's clear if there's anything up with it. Make sure you know your exam number, like the back of your hand, your rulers, your pens, your pencils, everything. You have everything ready in your bag, ready to go for the morning. But yeah, the night before the exam, you really just want a relaxed environment. You want to finish up study pretty early, have a nice dinner, just relax, watch some TV. You don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, and you also do want to go to bed super early because that brain power is so important. So same with eating a massive dinner the night before your exam. Obviously, the next morning now is your exam. You want to go to sleep early the night before so that you can wake up early on the day of your exam, and not wake up to start studying, but wake up so that you can get ready and you're not rushed. If you feel rushed, that's going to make you panic. You want to have a leisurely morning, you want to relax, get yourself ready, make sure your bag is packed. Obviously have a big breakfast, fuel up. Now some people like to revise their notes, you know, while eating breakfast or the morning of their exam. That's completely up to you. Personally, I really don't like doing that. Unless it's an exam that I really don't feel prepared for, then I might revise, but majority of the time I don't like doing that. I find that if I'm revising stuff the morning of the exam, I just get panicked and I start stressing over it. And then I feel like I can't remember anything that I'm reading because I'm so stressed. Honestly, what I just say is whatever is in my head is in my head, and what will be, what will be. Hopefully you've already put in a bunch of work. All that information is in your head. There's no need to start panicking, learning stuff, trying to revise stuff. It's too late at this point. Not trying to be mean, but it is. So preferably I just don't like to do that, but it's completely up to you if you feel like you want to. Obviously you want to arrive at school pretty early. You don't want to be rushed, you don't want to get caught in traffic, which definitely might happen. Leave super early, you get to school early. If you get there, you can revise your notes, you can talk to your friends, whatever. If you are talking to people, which obviously is going to happen, I would definitely try and refrain from talking about predictions on the paper. Obviously, a lot of the time you might not have covered absolutely everything. There might be a topic or two that you left out, which is completely normal, and I think most people do that. So if you start talking about predictions and people start naming off all these topics that they think is going to come up, and a topic comes up that they talk about that you personally have not really studied, you're not prepared for, that's going to make you panic. And same with you talking to your friends, you think, oh, I've studied this so much, I really think this is going to come up. There's no need to talk about it. You're going to either panic them, you're going to panic yourself. It's just really not worth it. So just talk about, I don't know, your 6-year-old or something, but just refrain from talking about what you think is going to come up. Now, when you actually sit down at the actual exam, I would definitely recommend reading through the entire paper, because I think if you don't and you start answering the first short questions or whatever subject it is, I don't know. If you're just answering the first sheet, you don't know what's on the next page, and that's going to make you overthink. Even if you don't think it is, you are unconsciously going to be thinking about, oh my god, did this topic come up? Oh my god, what is the question on this? Oh my god. You're gonna be thinking about all these things, so just read through the paper. It puts your mind at ease. You know what you're expecting when you flip the page. I would also recommend, if you have studied something the night before and you were cramming, answer that question first on whatever you were cramming the night before, because that information is not going to stay in your head very long because you were stressed so much the night before. So just get all that information onto the page so you can forget about it and continue answering your paper. Another thing I want to touch on is not obsessing over the clock. Obviously you need to manage your time, see how long you're spending at each question if you have a rough idea, hopefully, how long you should be spending on each question. But don't be too obsessed about staring at the clock. Oh my god, it's ticking away. Oh my god, I have less time. Don't be doing that. It's a waste of your time. It's going to stress you out even more. Just answer the questions. Most subjects you do have plenty of time to answer all the questions, and you will have time left over. Maybe for English you might be a bit more panicked trying to get everything onto the page, but for most of them you don't need to be obsessing over the clock. You will have plenty of time. If you seem to get stuck on a question, just leave it, come back to it. There's no point wasting time overthinking, oh my god, what is this? I do know the answer, blah 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 blah. Just skip it. Answer all the rest of your questions and come back to it at the end, because at that point at the end you're going to be so much more relaxed. You've already answered 95% of the paper. You have one question left. You might be stuck on. If you can't get it, you can't get it, but do attempt everything. Another thing I want to say is taking breaks. This might sound stupid. You're obviously in an exam, you can't really do much, but especially in subjects where you are writing big essay questions, your hand is going to be so sore. Take a minute or two to relax, take some deep breaths, stretch out your hands. Close your eyes if you want to, honestly. Just take a breather. You have time to do that. And honestly, it will stand to you for when you answer your next question. The last quick thing I want to touch on is after the exams, really try and prevent talking with your friends about the exam itself. I know obviously naturally you're all going to come out and start talking about it, but just be careful because you don't want to put so much stress on yourself that people are like, oh, I answered A for this question, and everyone's like, I answered A too, and you put down C. That's just going to stress you out. There's a high chance that you're probably correct and everyone else is incorrect, but there's no point stressing about it. You're just going to come home with more stress when you need to be coming home with a fresh mind so you can study again for the exam the next day. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Good luck with your Leaving Cert and your Junior Cert. I really hope they all go really well, and I will talk to you all in a couple of months. Bye!
Also guys, be sure to check out the ExamRevision courses and bundles. I actually have a 20% off code for you. I'll put it on the screen now. They cover majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. They have H1 standard notes, video lessons, presentations, quizzes, exam questions, everything you will need to succeed in the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert.